Welcome back to Almighty Blues FC, a fan channel for all to see. Well, it's an extremely important day, an important week, I would say, because there is a big game that we are previewing. It is Chelsea against Manchester City as part of Game Week 6 in the English Premier League. But it is not just that, it is champions of Europe versus champions of England, which is a big deal in itself. Having said that, another reason why it is a big day for me and Almighty Blues FC is because we have a great guest today. That's Dominic from Dominic Rich FC, as you can see. Dominic, how are you, brother?
I'm fine, man. Nice to have a chat with you. Even though you took the Champions League from us, basically, we had it. We had it locked already, but you came in, you took it away. We still won the
Never,
Premier
never.
League, but yeah, but it was kind of bittersweet that we couldn't win, the Carabao Cup, the Premier League, and the Champions League last season, and it's because of Chelsea. And it's been a fierce rivalry building up over the years where City have been getting the better of Chelsea, but now it seems like the tables are turning. So, yeah,
Yes, yes.
the Chelsea people are not the fans I really want to see because of that. But hello, how are you guys doing? Yeah.
No way. Come on, come on. Actually, honestly speaking, anyone watching, again, you must have watched Dominic. Dominic covers a lot of leagues, a lot of international football as well on his channel. But at the end of the day, he's a Man City fan, and that just came out there, right? But Dominic, feel free to talk about your channel and where can we find you?
Well, you could find me at Dominic Rich FC on YouTube, Dominic Rich FC on Twitter. That's where I'm most active at. So, thanks.
Perfect. And of course, I've been there and a great channel to watch. Having said that, one issue which has come up, Dominic, in the last week or so is again taking the knee. Marcos Alonso, he has been, I think, alleged by a lot of people in the media to be not following it, and that's not a good example. But again, like Marcos Alonso and Thomas Tuchel have gone on record saying that he's actually pointing to his armband. So I think that means, that he's still against it, and that's his way. But what are your thoughts on everything?
Well, this is something I actually saw, but I didn't really comment on it too much. Well, it's his choice, If he doesn't feel comfortable going down on one knee, maybe it makes him feel a bit vulnerable, or maybe he thinks it's not the right way to protest, these matters. And if he wants to point to the badge, that's up to him. But I would say if everyone's doing it, I guess you follow. You see what I mean? But he doesn't want to do that. You understand what I'm saying? If
Yes,
everybody's
yes.
taking a knee and that's the gesture, do it as well. It's like, for example, when someone dies and they doing a minute of silence. Everybody does a minute of silence. You're not gonna be the one that does a whole minute of pandemonium. You see what I mean? And say that's the way you're gonna do it. So in a way, yeah, it's a controversial topic that we're not gonna get too deep in. But as long as he is with the whole program, like if he, the way he feels and he's against the whole racism thing that's been going on all across Europe, I'm fine with that. You see what I mean? Once he's with it and he doesn't want to take the knee, that's fine.
Well, fair enough. But again, people watching, do comment below what are your thoughts and smash that like button and subscribe to us, Almighty Blues FC, but more importantly, Dominic Rich FC as well. The links are all below. And having said that, Dominic, let's get into it. It's a big deal, right? As in this weekend. So here you go. Well, obviously, we've beaten Man City. When I say we, it's obviously Chelsea, thrice recently. But having said that, I think in the last five Premier League games, like you saw, we've also lost thrice, and that's interesting in itself. But I think Kevin De Bruyne, an ex-Chelsea man, has scored against us thrice in the last 3 Premier League games. So I think he'll probably be equaling a record if he'll be scoring the fourth time. Having said that, also, I think Chelsea will create a record if we beat Man City, the only club to beat Pep Guardiola's club, 4 times in succession. And that will be a record in itself. For sure, we'll be going for it. But historically, I think definitely Chelsea have an upper hand. Um, I believe we have won around 27 ties against Man City, and Man City have just won about 14. But there have been just 7 draws, and that's the big deal, right? For me, and the last 12 times that we've met in the Premier League, there has not been a single draw. So, Dominic, something's got to give, right? For sure. Pep Guardiola after the Champions League final will again overthink and, do something else, or do you think he'll just go with tried and tested?
To be honest, I don't know what Pep's going to do. I can't predict what Pep's going to do. That's the thing about Pep Guardiola. And with the
Yeah.
squad being a little depleted by injuries right now, in terms of the defensive positions, I really don't know what he's going to do. Like, I'm not going to stay here and say, oh, yeah, Pep is going to do this. And Pep is one of the most unpredictable guys. You see,
Yeah.
he went 3 games without changing the starting 11, and then he got good results. We won all three of those games. And then in the game that he was forced to make the changes, we drew to Southampton. So we couldn't have went in with 4 successive exact 11, but the thing is, you could never predict who he's gonna start, and that's the thing about Pep. And I think that could also be his Achilles heel, and that could also be a strength where he is very, very unpredictable, and you can't really figure out what he's going to do and plan for what he's going to do, because you could see the Champions League final. Nobody would have planned that he wasn't going to play a defensive midfielder. That could have been the big difference in us winning the Champions League and us, handing it over to Chelsea. So the thing is, I really can't put my money on what he's going to do. But what we know for sure is that someone will be playing as a false 9. There'll be a false 9. I don't know if he's going to try to match Tuchel's system, playing 3 at the back. I don't know. I really don't know. But let's see. Let us see. Let us hope he puts out the best 11 possible, and we at least go out there and we compete and we play like the champions that we are, because we are the champions of England. I know you are the champions of Europe, but we are the champions of England, and we're not going to be any pushovers despite how well Chelsea have been playing. So,
Fair
yeah.
point. Fair point. Definitely, I can relate to you because Thomas Tuchel is the same. I've kind of begun calling him Tinkerman Tuchel, like the Ranieri days. And then we can never predict, what these top managers kind of, come up with. They are so tactically, as in far ahead of, most of the other managers, right? So, and then let's see, as in certainly interesting. But having said that, imagine, we had the funds to sign players from both the clubs, right? As in, I've actually come up with a combined 11. So I'm going to share it with you, Dominic, and the rest of the people watching. And obviously, it's open for debate, but let me know what are your thoughts on this. So this is what I've come up with. Again, I've tried to, stick to the last few months, and the form players is what I've picked. I'm not gone, obviously, with, City winning the league, as in it would have been a City team otherwise, right? So any major changes that you would make here?
Well, look, so when you go with a 4-3-3, it means that you're going with Pep as the manager, right? That's what you're
Well,
doing?
okay, honestly, since you asked that question, I did notice that there are a lot of Chelsea players here. And then again, we don't have a fullback or a wing back who's like a mainstay in the team, whereas I believe you have, right? So for me, this was a formation which kind of fitted them best. And the fact that we have more players, I thought I'll at least give the formation to Man City. That's the way I put it. But
But
yes.
yeah, but if you go with the Man City formation, that means that you're going with Pep Guardiola as a manager.
And then honestly, would you take Pep Guardiola as a manager or Tuchel? I'm just putting it out there,
Well, look, I did a combined 11, and I went with Tuchel as the manager because Tuchel recently got the better of Pep Guardiola in the FA Cup, in the league, and in the Champions League. He actually stopped us from winning 2 trophies. 2. Because I know we would have beaten Leicester in that final. I know that. We would have beaten
Yeah.
Leicester in the final. and we were going to win the FA Cup. We would have won the FA Cup, the League, and the Champions League. And because of Tuchel, Pep didn't manage to do that. So I'm going to put Tuchel ahead. Tuchel has his number right about now. You got to keep it fair. Overall, in terms of career, it is Pep. But if we go overall on career, then you see it's going to get a little bit more complicated like that. We go in terms of who's in form maybe over the last year or so.
Exactly, as in more about form, right?
And in my combined 11, I went with Tuchel's formation, the 3 at the back, the wing backs, the 2 in the middle, the 2 above, and the lone striker up top. And I went with Ederson in goal over Mendy for sure. I don't know why people insist on putting Mendy above Ederson. I think that
form. It's only form, to be honest.
Bro, Ederson is the Premier League. We're talking Premier League, right? This is a Premier League match.
Yeah.
Ederson is the Golden Glove holder for what, the last couple of years? You see what I'm saying? So it's like
I have a quick point there, Dominic, if I may. So this is about Mendy, right? So Mendy actually lost the Golden Glove, I think, kind of because of Tuchel, because last season Tuchel played Kepa for those 2 games, and he was on a as in streak of clean sheets, right? As in he would have actually beaten Ederson's record. I'm just kind of putting it out there, but Mendy, I get your point.
Mendy is a hurry come up type player. You see what I'm saying? Ederson has been around since 2017, 18.
Fair enough. Yes.
See what I mean? The last 5 seasons of Ederson, consistent. So I think, he definitely gets into the team. Mendy just started playing for Senegal. If you want to talk other competitions, Mendy just started playing for Senegal.
True.
Ederson has been playing for Brazil, even though he didn't really get a lot of caps ahead of Alisson. He's been there. Yeah. You see what I mean?
He's better than Alisson. As in, I'll definitely give you that, for sure.
Well, they have attributes that they trump each other in my opinion. At the back, I went with Rudiger, Thiago Silva, and Ruben Diaz.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I don't know how you would put a team and not put Ruben Diaz in there. Ruben Diaz is the Premier League Player of the Year.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? The UEFA's Defender of the Year. You want to go with Jorginho with Player of the Year in UEFA? You have to go with Ruben Diaz. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'll debate. You put out your 11, but this is just what I'm debating, So as
you have fair points, definitely.
Yeah, as the wing backs, I did go with Joao Cancelo at left wing back, simply because I think he's better than Alonso and Zinchenko, and I had to go with him because he's a versatile player. Right wing back, I did not go with Kyle Walker simply because of his attacking prowess. If you play a right wing back, you're not really playing a wing back to really defend that much. It's for more attacking reasons. So I went in with Reece James. The 2 holding in the middle, I went with Fernandinho and I went with N'Golo Kante, just because Fernandinho has been ageless, just like Silva. Just like Thiago Silva, I should say. He's just been ageless and he has been performing at a high level for a very, very long time. And just above the 2 holding midfielder, Kante and Fernandinho, I went in with Kevin De Bruyne and Riyad Mahrez. Bro, Ankit, bro, how could you put Mount in a team ahead of Mahrez?
As in, for me, he was Chelsea Player of the Year, and he played 80 games. He played 80 games in the last 12 months or so, right? As in, and consistency, I think, kind of deserves it. That's my, debate.
This is Mahrez you're talking about. This is Mahrez. Mahrez won Algeria, the African Cup of Nations. He won things with Leicester City. Mahrez has been consistent for the last 6, 7, not 1 season,
for sure,
7 seasons, which is absolutely ridiculous when you think about it. No, look, I'm not trying to argue with your picks or whatever. You put in your picks. I'm just telling you, these guys can't make the team. You see what I'm saying? Grealish doesn't even make the team. You see what I mean?
It's more on ability, and I know just because what he did with Villa is probably, I think, he's yet to prove himself really in the big league. So I get a point certainly. I think I'm assuming the striker is Lukaku, right? And that's
Lukaku is a striker, of course. But Grealish has been proving himself. I think Grealish step up from Villa to City has been seamless, and he has been really, really good. So I think that's my 11.
Okay.
Tuchel as the manager. We have three at the back. I said I went with Edison, went with Rudiger, Silva, Diaz, Cancelo, Reece James, Kante. You have Fernandinho, Kevin De Bruyne, Mahrez, and Lukaku. Very, very strong 11.
I
All
must
the
say that.
all the other players don't come close, in my opinion.
Well, I must say, like it's a balanced 11 for sure. But again, there is a different of opinions in some positions, not all. So people watching, do comment below with your combined 11. And then for me, I think either team is world class, like simply put, right? And that's never going to happen. But yeah, then that was just wishful thinking. Having said that, now that we have seen the combined 11s, I think let's actually see what's really going to happen this weekend. So let's move on to the next section, guys. Okay, so basically, as in City are, I think it's a good form, run that they are in right now. I know that there were a couple of blips. Obviously, we've got to speak about Southampton. Southampton, for me, that could have been a loss. Even like that penalty, red card decision. I know it was technically a good challenge, but again, it was debatable. And I think the Spurs game, everyone knows that. But apart from that, I think it's been good. Wickham Wanderers is the latest match that you won 6-1. So overall, Dominic, would you say like the only concern is probably a little bit of defense because Kyle Walker and Diaz haven't been at the best form? Is that fair?
I'm gonna keep it short. I'm gonna keep it sweet. No concerns.
No concerns.
And the
Perfect.
reason why I'm gonna say no concerns. Last season, 8 games, we were what 14th. The rest is history. The rest is simply history. The rest is history. We've only been 5 games. Pep's still trying to figure things out. There's this international break where players are going out playing 3 games in the international break. So they're not basically getting the rest that they need, time to recover. So it's too early. It is way too early. I don't even know who Pep is going to play, as I said before. I really don't know. It's like the uncertainty is there. But I know there's Stones and Laporte still carrying niggles, and Gundogan had a knock. And, Mendy's out, dealing with some legal issues as well. So that's just the things that's been going on with the squad. Phil Foden and
Yeah,
Kevin De Bruyne.
this is my guess. I don't know, like Phil Foden did well, I think, in the midweek game as well. So do you see him probably playing a larger part from the start?
That looks like the 11 that could actually play. We might see Rodri ahead of Fernandinho. We could see Bernardo play this game. We could see a midfield of maybe Foden, and we could see like maybe a Bernardo with Jesus and Kevin De Bruyne playing as a false 9. That's something we could see.
Okay.
Grealish, I think, will play. Ferran, it's going to be a toss-up because, with Pep, he could go and he could play Sterling. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. That's the whole
Fair
thing.
enough.
He could go and play Sterling. So, yeah.
Yeah, so as in obviously, I think the injuries have played a part because obviously, with Laporte not being there, I think with Rodri, I think had a minor knock as well as Zinchenko. So that's one of the reasons I didn't put them. But again, I think Gundogan, I think he was probably one of the players of the year for you, like last year, right? As in for me, he's a great player, and that'll be a miss in midfield. But coming to Chelsea, right? As in for us. We also, unfortunately, in the presser today, Thomas Tuchel just announced that Mason Mount is out. So that'll be a big blow for me because Mason Mount in such big games he's crucial. Someone who kind of closes the ball early and up front, defend from the front is what they say, and he's the epitome of that. So him missing will probably change the team a little bit. I'll just quickly share what I expect Chelsea team to be like this weekend, and for me, we'll probably go how we played the second half versus Spurs because of the fact that Mason Mount is out, and probably it's a blessing in disguise because Kante, Kovacic, and Jorginho were fantastic, and Ziyech hasn't had the best time, right? And Pulisic isn't fit either. So I can realistically see this. Timo Werner, if you had really impressed in terms of his way of play in midweek, I would have probably expected him to start, but I still expect him to come on in the second half, but not from the start. Like, do you see this? This is something that City can probably deal with in terms of midfield.
What is this? Is this a electrical diagram of a bus? Is that what this is? Is this a layout
No,
of like a bus or something?
come on.
This
So basically, Kante
this
is the person who will be replacing Mount to basically close up front, right?
bro,
As in he'll be the person.
this looks like a blueprint of a bus or something. That's what this looks like to me. This is very. Why
Come
are you
on,
so
he just
why are
scored a
you so
goal.
why are you so defensive, bro? You actually have 8 defensive players on the field right there. 8.
Okay, but
And the
Kante
goalkeeper.
scored, Kovacic
9.
scored.
It doesn't matter. You play with 9 defenders. 9.
Well, I don't mind as long as we win matches. Like, but at the end of the day,
Well,
see, as if Mount was there, definitely I would have played a different formation. But that's just me, right? As in just putting it out there.
oh man. How is anybody to break that down? You see what I'm saying?
You know what? And then for me, again, like you say that, but I think Foden on the wings, if he plays Aspilicueta, as much as I'm a huge fan and he's been great in big games, still going, great guns, but he can be beaten, and he has been beaten in recent times in certain situations. And Alonso, we know that as well. So I think on the wings is where you probably have the best bet. Again, I think for me, Foden will probably be the player along with Grealish will probably win the fouls that side, because Alonso and Aspilicueta give away free kicks as well.
Yeah, but the thing about thing about Chelsea, Ankit, is like, who cares about Alonso and what Aspilicueta are doing if they run apart James or Reece James? There's always going to be Rudiger, and there's always going to be Christensen helping out. Everyone's gonna help. Kovacic and Jorginho, they're gonna help out when the others go forward anyway. So
Yeah,
it's gonna be a
fair enough. But
very difficult to break down.
well, a quick shout out to Kepa. He's done great in Mendy's absence, but thank goodness Mendy is available as per Tuchel. He's actually announced that. So, like we've got Mount out, Mendy is in, and obviously Kante did not have a great midweek game, but he is world class midfielder. I'm relying on these people to kind of just keep that clean sheets ahead because we haven't conceded in open play this EPL season yet. And again, I know that. Is wishful thinking, but we considered just 15 in
Like, how are
2005.
you supposed to concede in open play if you have 9 defenders on the field? You can't.
Come on.
It's very difficult. Like, it is difficult.
I'm sure
You
you
see what I'm
wished it as
saying?
well. Come on, Dominic. No, I'm
Bro,
sure you wished it as
it
well.
is facts. It is it's not very attractive football, bro. It's boring. It is boring. City play some of the most attractive football. And I think that could be a downfall at times where we are bossing the games, we have the ball, we are passing the ball well, but we're not scoring because there's about 5 buses parked in front of the goal. And then we get hit on the break and then we concede. Or we give away some penalty or something, or we concede on a set piece or whatever. So, look, man, look, if that's the way you want to win things, be my
You
guest,
know
man.
what? Again, Louis Van Gaal, I'm a Dutch supporter, and I know that this guy knows ball as well. As in, I'm not saying you don't know, you know lots of it. But, again, there's a different opinion. I think you can attack with the formation and the personnel, like you said. Like, there are players who are defensive minded. But I think when Kante plays for us, especially with, stocked midfield, he actually plays an attacking role. But again, compared to City, we cannot do that, right? And definitely, yeah,
The
I
thing
would give that to you.
the thing with Kante, Ankit, is Kante is a ball winner. He free roams. He's all over. If you check his heat map, he's probably all over the field. With
Yes.
Kante, when he wins the ball back, he catches you in transition. It's that transition that win the ball back and break right away. And that's where Chelsea's strength is. So they could keep their defensive shape and Kante win the ball back, the attackers push forward, and the team is already, caught halfway up the field. You see what I mean?
Yep,
And then
yep, yep.
you run in with Lukaku or Mount, whoever, and score. You see? So yeah.
Right. And then again, coming to the form, right? We've had, I think, the only blips, if I may say so, is like the red card that we had against Liverpool. But even then, we came out the positive team in the end, the way I see it, because with 10 men, we played very well. With 11 men, unlike what you said, Dominic, I believe we were attacking, but yeah, then that's Liverpool, right? But the penalty shootout win, it will give some confidence to the youngsters. I know there were 10 changes, and again, I think Tuchel will probably make 10 more changes back to the first team. But that's something that hopefully, the players will take as a positive. And yeah, then I'm certainly looking forward to the game. So, do you have a prediction in mind? What are you predicting? I'm sure like it'll be a close game, but what's your scoreline?
2-1 to Chelsea.
Wow, that's a
2-1.
brave scoreline, I must say. But yeah, I think it's realistic as well, for sure. Any
You said it's realistic. So if
we
City
score goals?
look,
Come
if
on.
City wins 3-1, you telling me that's not realistic as well?
Obviously, it's happened before, like we saw in the clip before. But it's Tuchel,
Bro,
right? As a
we
Tuchel, we
are,
don't concede.
I don't care who Tuchel, whatever. We are the champions. We are the champions of England. We could beat anybody anytime. 6-0 against Chelsea. Just you guys seem like you forget these things. When we beat you in January, it was easy. You see what I'm saying? I know Tuchel has come in and I spoke about his defensive approach and everything and his tactics, but you could see a West Brom situation anytime tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because against West Brom, where did all that everything, that philosophy go? Where did the tactics go? Where did the master class go? You see what I'm
Yes.
saying?
I think a red
So
card is quite possible in these big games and all, right? I think
yeah,
you
when
can say
you're
that.
playing against a big team, like people say City is not a big team, but when you're playing against City or Liverpool, a United, even Tottenham or an Arsenal on their day, they will beat you. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So when you guys are getting a little carried away with this thing, and that's why you see I'm so pissed off with Pep that we didn't win the Champions League, because if we won the Champions League, you Chelsea fans want to be big, pushing out your chest right now, talking about 2-1 is realistic and all that. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No,
But
it's obvious, right?
I'm
I mean, you don't win it every year. As in, trust me, like Dominic, if City won the Champions League, I can for sure tell you that you would have bragged as well. It's an opportunity for us, and
no, it's not
and you have
about
to be proud.
no, it's not about bragging. It's about we are still if not the most intimidating team, one of the most
Yeah,
intimidating teams in the league.
definitely. Yeah.
Because we will play against these teams and we will blow them away 5-6-0. Chelsea may not do that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It may
Definitely. That's
just be a
something that we need to
1-0
work.
or 2-0 win or something like that. You see what I mean? So I just wanna, send a message still. Y'all gotta put some respect on City. That's all I'm gonna say, because
For sure.
come May, it might not be Chelsea winning the title.
Wow.
But
Wow.
I'm
That's
gonna
the
go. But why do Chelsea fans think the title is theirs? I don't
No, it's not
understand
our.
this.
Okay, let's put it this way, right? We are definitely champions elect along with Man City, right? And then for sure, I
Bro,
would say that
you guys,
the squad is there.
no. You have to use the right terms, bro. You're not champions elect, bro. You are one of the favorites, or you're a contender. Champions elect means that you already basically won it, but there's games to go.
Yeah.
And
As
you
in, it's too early.
Yeah, it's 5 games. You cannot be champions
Yeah,
elect with
absolutely.
5 games played based on because you signed Lukaku. You have to
No, no,
produce the results, bro.
come on, I was just using an opportunity, but I totally agree with you, and that is why I then listen to my prediction. So I'm actually predicting finally a draw between City and Chelsea, and I actually see Kevin De Bruyne kind of breaking the record and getting a goal, because he has been tremendous against Chelsea. Like, he really turns up in most games he does, and the Champions League final he'll remember. Going off injured, I think he'll have an extra motivation. And for us, again, Havertz hasn't really turned up except for the Liverpool game, and he's one who kind of turns up in these big games. So I can see Havertz turning up tomorrow. So that's my prediction, man. I think I'll take that, honestly.
The thing is, you guys, like, you talk. I'm gonna talk to you. You talk a big talk about Chelsea, and you come predicting a draw. You see what I'm saying, bro?
No, but in the season, I'm predicting that we are going to be champions. That I
You,
just told that we're champions elect.
yeah,
That's
but
the
the thing
reason.
is, you're predicting a draw, when you're so commanding, you're supposed to predict the win. I predict you guys to win. So if we do not win the game, I'm like, okay, I didn't expect to win this game anyways. And
Fair
if
enough.
we do win or draw, I'll be like, whoo, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so
Well,
we'll
well,
we'll see
well.
how we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
Yes.
All the best to you.
Yeah, same to you, Dominic. Definitely, but yes, fantastic chat again. People watching, do comment your score lines and your predictions. Who's going to be scoring? But before that, quickly before we end, Dominic, I know there are a couple of other fixtures, important ones of that. One is a mid-table, North London derby between Spurs and Arsenal at the Emirates. So, what are you predicting there? Like, you think Arteta will be able to kind of get the win and the cup trophy that he has in this game?
1-1.
Wow. I think yeah, for Nuno as well, it's very important. So I can see that happening for sure. Like both teams going and Manchester United after the midweek fiasco that they had, like again in a cup game, right? And they'll come out strong, right? As in Aston Villa look good. What do you think will happen there?
Can't remember the exact score line, but they're gonna beat Villa. Villa against United is mostly United win, especially at Old Trafford. They haven't beaten United at Old Trafford since 2009, and then they only have 3 wins total against United in the Premier League in about
Yeah,
50 something games. So if
yeah.
they
I
are to
think
win, it's gonna be tomorrow. It is gonna be tomorrow because they're looking good.
okay, so I think yeah, those are the interesting games of the weekend that we just wanted to cover, and of course, the big game is something we're waiting for. We'll be back with a review. Before that, Dominic, again, thanks a lot for coming up and sharing your thoughts. Always great to discuss football with you. But any last thoughts, or feel free to plug in your channel again, please.
Well, you can find me at Dominic Rich FC on YouTube, Dominic Rich FC on Twitter. Appreciate having a chat with you. May the best team win, and it's war, bro. It is war. Just wanna let you know that it's war.
Well, Almighty Blues FC. Anyway, thanks again, Dominic, and everyone watching. Please smash that like and subscribe to us as well as Dominic Rich FC. The links are below. Until next time, take care and we'll see you soon. Peace out.
Peace.